Hello, and welcome. Guess what I got? I got the Pro controllers, which I'm going to use with my Quest 2. So stay tuned. We're going to do a box opening and a first impressions. The day that I'm recording this, it's December 25th, 2022. That's Christmas, and that's actually how I got my hands on these. My mother, knowing that I'm into VR tech and all that jazz, and knowing that I was wanting to get my hands on these controllers, actually got them for me. So big shout out to my mother. Thank you very much appreciated, and I love you. So getting into this box opening, let's see what we have here. So just for clarity, I've actually already opened these boxes at the gathering that we had. I didn't do much beyond the opening and popping the hood here, if you will, and looking, and I held one controller in my hand just for transparency and all, but I didn't do anything beyond that. So me and you, we're on this journey together here. So opening it up, that's actually what it looks like here. Two controllers, and I am quite excited about getting my hands on these. So there's the one, and looks like we have some a cover here, which we're going to remove. I'm not good at the whole peeling off thing. So that's a gorgeous little controller. Heft-wise, it's definitely a little heavier than the Quest 2 controllers, but that's fine. And then here's the other one here. Once again, we have the protection peel thing. We're going to get that off. So there's our two controllers. All right, so there we go. There's our two controllers. And we got these fancy little wrist straps, which will work for Beat Saber, but I'm definitely going to be buying some knuckle straps from Amazon. I have actually scoped out a pair already. I just got to make the purchase. So can't use these controllers without the knuckle straps for sure. What else do we have in here? So what else we have is this little box here. Looks like this is the, what is this? Oh, all the instructions and stuff. Yeah, that's it, just the instructions. And beyond that, we have for our outlet, power outlet. And what's in here? Oh yeah, there's our Type-C to Type-C cable, looks like. Yes, I'm just throwing stuff randomly onto the floor. So Type-C to Type-C cable. Set that down there. And looks like this right here is the actual charger. Is the actual charging, I should say. What can I say? It's almost 8 o'clock at night. I've been up all day, and we wanted to get this recording in before I go to bed. So that's the charging station. These things actually are supposed to be rechargeable. So there's that. And nothing else in there. That's it. So throw that on the floor. So basically that's what you get in the box. You get the little charging dock, and you get a Type-C to Type-C, which I believe is meant to be used to charge your headset. So you can plug that in there, and then plug that into your headset, and you can charge your headset as well. That's my understanding. And the way these things go on here, where you can see it there. Oh yeah, like so. I'm sure I'm making this look harder than it actually is. I'm definitely making this look harder than it actually is. Oh, there it is. Oh, there we go. I was actually doing it backwards. So operator error there. Once I got it lined up, these actually snapped right into place there. So there they are. We got ourselves the Pro controllers. So now it's just a matter of pairing these up to our Quest. So let's get to that right now. All right, so here we are. We are going to see about pairing these up with our Quest 2, which I've powered on, and I got the app going in here. And if I remember correctly, I haven't actually done this before, but what we do is we hit the headset settings, and then we hit controller. Yep. And then we want to pair a new controller. And we're pairing the Pro. Let's pair the left. Let's pair the right. The Quest Pro right. And unable unpair previous controller. Before you pair a new controller, your previous controller will be unpaired. So yes, we want to do that. And now it's pairing it. Hold down. My vision's not all that great. What's that say there? The B and the circle. So we got to hold down the B and the circle. What can I say? My vision's not the greatest. I had to reference my actual monitor in front of me to see that. Holding down the circle and the B for 4 seconds. I felt a beep. And release. Hold down B and the circle on your right controller for 4 seconds. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. I felt a beep there. And we have paired. Awesome. That was slightly painful, but that was probably operator error on my part. So let's go to the next here. Pair complete. So now we need to pair the left Pro controller. Now I kind of know what I'm doing here. We've got to unpair the previous. Before you proceed, your previous controller will be unpaired. That's fine. You got to hold down the B. Actually, this time it's the Y and the equals, or whatever that is. The 3 lined equals thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's try that again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm sure people that know how to do this are looking at me like, what are you doing, buddy? It's not as hard as you're making it out to be. Hold down that and the Y. 1, 2. Oh, there we go. 4, 5. Doing a lot of beeping there at me. Third time's the charm. Or is this? Oh, there it is. Left controller is now paired. That was only slightly painful, but I'm sure that was operator error. The pairing is now complete. Which now, if we go back, we have now paired our 2 controllers, and it looks like we're sitting on 70% battery power for the right, and it's not showing me the left. I wonder why that is. Anyways, that's actually pretty simple to pair these up, just using your app there. So now, we're going to get in some gameplay, and we'll have some impressions and see how these things actually feel in my hand while playing some games. My first game I did was, of course, Beat Saber. And Beat Saber is a fantastic game to test things on because latency or tracking issues are very noticeable in it. And right out the gate, I can say the gameplay is very smooth with these Pro controllers. I'm not saying the tracking was an issue with the Quest 2 controllers, because it's not, but it definitely felt like the Pro controllers did the job a little bit better. The Quest Pro controllers are heavier than the Quest 2 controllers, but for me, the added weight actually makes the feel of them a little bit better, because sometimes lighter is not always better, and adding just the right weight to just the right place on the device can make all the difference in how it feels in your hands. And maybe that was not intentional on the part of Meta. It definitely is how it played out for my experience. The one issue I did come across when trying to use the Pro controller with Beat Saber was how to hold the darn thing. So for me, I am a big fan of the claw grip. This is the claw grip right here. And this promotes the use of the wrist for those really fast games, which is kind of important. The wrist action is really important when getting those Expert Plus songs out of the way. And that's fine with this controller because the tracking ring is this thing right here, and the controller can basically be tracked with the cameras on the headset. But if you hold the Pro controller like that with the claw grip, you're actually going to cover up the cameras here. So this thing has 3 cameras, one there, one there, one there, and that's what tracks, the controller tracks itself with those 3 cameras. So when you try to hold it with the claw grip, you're basically going to cover up those cameras so the controller won't be able to track itself. And I experienced that. So I had to figure out a solution, and after about an hour of messing around, I ultimately settled on this. And basically it's a standard grip, but then I just turn my wrist like so, and I kind of grip pretty heavy on the trigger. I'm pulling it, and then sometimes I'll even come up and kind of hold that. Whatever I need to do to keep my fingers away from that and away from those. And this gives me that wrist action that I kind of like. It feels awkward for me. Definitely going to have to practice, and definitely going to have to get used to it. And if you want, in the comment section, if you have experience with these Pro controllers, what grips have you found that works well with them? I'd really appreciate to hear from you. The next game I jumped into was Half-Life Alyx. I wanted to see the impact of not having that tracking ring on the controllers like the Quest 2 versions have. I always found that tracking ring just got in the way of doing some things, whether it's removing or installing a magazine in the game, or it's chambering around. And I can't tell you how many times I just smacked the side of my head or the headset with those rings when I reached up to adjust the headset, or even just to reach up to scratch an itch. Needless to say, I found the absence of those tracking rings quite pleasant, and you can see I actually stopped here to play with removing and replacing the magazine over and over again. And then I also chambered around over and over and over again, just watching those things drop onto the ground and wasting them. But either way, it was definitely a big improvement over the Quest 2 standard controllers without those tracking rings. So that is my initial impressions of the Quest Pro controllers. I will be doing a thorough review over the next couple weeks, so keep an eye out for that video to get released. And if you got value out of today's video, please subscribe. Don't forget to click that bell to get notified when my videos go live, and drop a like onto the video.